You should come to Manhattan College because of the opportunity that is there for you, especially if you're looking to get into my field, which is sports broadcasting. The opportunities you get are similar to opportunities you'll get when you actually get out into the professional world and get paid for it. Like, it's something that's going to put you ahead of the game. My name is Michael Flynn. Manhattan College class of 2010. I am a senior content producer for SNY, that's Sportsnet New York. The most challenging part of my job is keeping up with the changing world in terms of the environment, in terms of the technology, especially in the last year and a half with the pandemic we've had. You need to know how to reinvent yourself from a creative standpoint. As a content developer, you're supposed to find new ways to cover sports that haven't been covered before, and you need to stay up to date in a technological sense, because we were shut down a year and a half ago. We needed to find out how to get back on the air immediately, and we found out how to get back on the air immediately by using resources that we had kept up to date with. And if you're not going to keep up to date with those, you're going to fall behind. Again, the most rewarding part of my job is working with a group of creative people to come up with something new each and every day. When you're a baseball producer, there are 162 games a year, and 162 times back to back to back with very few off days, you have to do the same show day in and day out, and you have to think of a different way to do that show day in and day out. And especially when the team isn't performing and isn't easy to watch, you have to think of creative ways to make your product easy to watch. I was somebody who got an opportunity my sophomore year of college at CBS, and having that on my resume got me my internship, which then got me my job. It's that experience that's going to get you your job, and more importantly, make connections in the real world that are then going to turn into more jobs. The department helped me by just being a resource that I could always go to. It helped that I had professors who had experience in the field and had connections in the field that they could help me make to get internships. And it helped me because of the location. I want to be in sports production. I am in the #1 sports media city in the world, and I've never left. I don't plan on leaving. My favorite Comm course, and again, it was the beginning of the program, so there weren't as many options as I'm sure you have today, was probably studio production or pre and post production, just because they're being able to use that studio. That's a state-of-the-art studio for a college studio, and it's still relatively new. I'm not that old. It wasn't that long ago that I was there. And it's cool. When I stepped into there, I got the same feeling I did when I stepped into CBS for the first time, because that was a year before the Comm broadcast studio was built. Like, it's cool to be there. It's cool to see things behind the scene and to just realize that not only can you take part in this, but you can really have ownership over it and create something that's really, really meaningful. And I fell in love with it immediately, like just being in there and seeing how sports and television production are made. I knew that that's something that I wanted to do for the rest of my career. My advice that I always give to anybody in the professional field, but I think it makes most sense in our field because we're in a creative profession, whether you're in advertising or public relations or in broadcasting, don't keep taking chances. And the more uncomfortable you are, the better job you're doing. Because if you get in a habit of doing things the same way over and over and over again, that's when you fall out of practice, even if you're not realizing it. Easy isn't always better. And the more challenges you face, the more questions you ask that people aren't expecting to hear and maybe don't want to hear, lead to better answers, and more importantly, lead to fulfillment within yourself and within the team of professionals that you're working with.